Alright, so we're going to be doing the Xerox AltaLink C80 model developer units and how to take one out and how to replace it. In order to do that, first you're going to start with opening this cover. From opening this cover, you want to open this tab here first and then unlock it. Once you unlock it, you'll open this up. The drums will be exposed. On here, you want to go ahead and take out your drum units. Once those drum units are off, you will take the whisk container off as well. And then we'll be taking off the IBT butt cleaner as well. Once those are off, you can keep the toners in here. You will have to take the screws off on the copier. So you have one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and one right here. And once this flaps open, you'll have one hidden that's right here. So go ahead and take all those screws off. Then this will come right off. Then there's a screw right in here. Then we'll start with left side with one. And six. I recommend opening the side door a little bit, just so then you're ready to pull this whole cover right off. Then we'll go ahead and take off this right here. You'll have 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then this will just lift up a little bit off its guide. Then you'll have one screw right in here in this fan. So one screw there. Then you'll be able to pull this fan unit out. There is a little white tab that you'll have to pinch and it'll come right out. Follow through and then you'll just go ahead and unplug it from right there. Once that's done, then you'll remove each developer plug-in. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's also one here as well that you'll have to unplug. Once those are unplugged, you'll have 2 screws to take off in order to take this blue piece, PWB board off. One here and one right there. This will come right off. From here, you'll have to take off the black auger piece. You'll have 3 screws. 1 on the left side and 2 on the right side. One right here, one right here. Once you have the screws off, you want to pull these flabs up, just so then toner doesn't fall down. And I always recommend just moving this tab here a little bit, so then you're able just to pull right out. Now here we have all 4 colors: black, cyan, magenta, and yellow. We'll do the black one for example. So for this one, make sure the flab is in there. There is a little tab here that is holding down the developer, so you will have to lift it from its position here. So there's one tab in the front and one tab on the side. Once that's done, you'll have 2 screws for a bracket in order to take off. So there's one at the bottom and one up top. Once you have those screws off, you'll go ahead and just pull the developer. The bracket will come right off with it. That's how you take off the developer. If you were to get a new one and install, simply remove the bracket just for better sake. And then when you're installing, you want to make sure you position it back in place correctly. Then you'll go ahead and install your bracket back in place. And it should line up. It has guides right there. So then you're able to put the 2 screws right in there. And then you'll put this flap down there in order to hinge, and it should be good. So now from here, we're gonna go ahead and just make sure the guide is back in place. You might hear a little snap just to make sure. Then from here, we'll go ahead and add the auger. I wanna make sure you just cross those wires right through. And I'll slide it up in there. You'll have a guide here where you can put the 2 screws and the 1 screw on the left hand side. Next, we're going to go ahead and add the developer board back on there. So there will be 2 ball guides where this kind of would sit at, and then you have your 2 screws to put on. Once that's on, then you'll go ahead and feed the developer back into the plugins. So each one will go in one color. Then the gray one will plug in right there. And the one that's exposed here will be the fan. So right in this whole area, you'll put that little guide there we pinched earlier. Follow through and plug the fan. Once that's plugged in, it'll go right in here. As well, it'll have a little guide there where you have to put the screw. Once that is done, I want to make sure everything's all plugged up and correct, and make sure these flaps are down. So you'll open this up, flap down, open up, flap down, open up, flap down, open up, flap down. From here, then we'll have to add our bracket. Once we add this bracket here, then we'll add our 6 screws. From here, then we'll add our cover back on. Just want to make sure you watch out for this flap right over here when you put that cover back in there. So once you put everything back in, you'll make sure the cover is there. Then we'll add our screws back on for the cover. And then we'll add our front cover here and add the 2 screws. And we'll close it. And then we'll add our knob here. Screw it back in. Then it'll lock up. Waste container back in, and then our cleaning blade back in.